resolution is not adopted.
That is Speaker Mike Johnson having to announce that their attempt to impeach the Homeland Security Secretary did not succeed. And he's not mad about it. I mean, he's barely even making eye contact. I mean, it's like, well, it failed. But anyway, bad news for the right. They desperately needed this because they're gonna kill the right-wing Senate border bill. They're not gonna do that after making like all this brouhaha about the border. So they were gonna impeach Alejandro Mayorkas to pretend that they're doing something, but now they can't even do that, which means it's a bad day for them. It's a good day for their detractors. And honestly, coming out of this, nobody appears to be having more fun than Representative Jamie Raskin. Take a look at this.
The House MAGAs would not take yes for an answer. Why? Because Donald Trump doesn't want a border solution. He wants a border problem, nothing else to run on. And Vladimir Putin certainly doesn't want $60 billion going to the heroic people of Ukraine, defying his filthy imperialist invasion. All over the world, democracy and freedom are under siege today, and all our colleagues can think to do is to sell out our democratic allies and sell out the cause of human rights, and then impeach a cabinet secretary working diligently to solve the immigration problem that they claim to care about. So the Trump-Putin MAGA faction, headed up by the distinguished gentlelady from Georgia, has been given this worthless trinket of a consolation prize, the opportunity to bring a slapstick impeachment drive against a cabinet member of unimpeachable integrity who has obviously committed no treason, no bribery, no high crimes, no misdemeanors, nothing indictable or even indictable, if you prefer.
Damn, was that a roast at the same time that it was an address to Congress? So obviously he's talking about Marjorie Greene there. I think everyone gets that, except now that I think about it, it might be lost on Marjorie Greene. That's who he's talking about. But yeah, no, he laid it out. That is entirely the politics of why they're doing the impeachment. The first time, by the way, in nearly a century and a half that a cabinet secretary has faced impeachment in this way. And hey, we've continued the streak of it not working, I suppose, although stay tuned, they're gonna try again this week. And also why they turned against the border bill. It is all because of Donald Trump. They have taken the entirety of American politics, of the obligation of the government, of them to do something about something they say is a problem. And they have decided, no, we think that it might make like a point of difference in the presidential election. So screw it, we're not gonna do it. And they have made clowns out of themselves. Maybe like even coming out of this failure, they're gonna do worse. And we'll get to that, including Marjorie Greene soon. But Sharon, it was certainly not guaranteed that this effort would fail. What do you think about this?
I think they can't get their acts together, and Johnson is completely just overmatched and looking foolish. Couldn't he have somebody else announce that? And I can't wait till you get to Marjorie Taylor Greene, because I think once again, we're gonna have to explain just the basics of how this thing works. You know, people show up, they vote. It's up to them, one member, one vote, that kind of thing. But no, there was no guarantee, but they can't even like take an accurate count, it seems.
Yeah.
To say, here's what we got. We got a thin margin, we got a little bit to lose. We can't lose anyone. Let me make sure we're all in the same group text. It's just, well, it reveals what we're actually dealing with. It's no surprise to those of us at home watching this chaos.
Yeah, I wonder, I'm loading up Fox News right now because I'm trying to think, how are they going to spin this for their side? Like if you're a regular conservative, you're in Nashville or something, or Dallas, I don't know, and you're seeing this and you've been convinced that this is what's gonna save the border. Not passing a law or funding to the Border Patrol or anything like that. It's just, we gotta get rid of this guy for reasons. I don't remember, but Jesse Waters said it. He seemed to have a reason, and they couldn't even do that. They're like, they've given up on legislation, but even these stupid, buffoonish antics, they can't even do that stuff. Why would you want to keep them in power if you were a right winger? It is a complete waste of time, because honestly, they're not positioned or trained. They don't have the expertise to govern. And we know that they don't want to. So just put them back in the minority and have them continually just shout things over people who are honestly doing their job. That's far more of their actual element. Just go back to that.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.